Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League Spike Magazine Trophy. We are in the semi-finals. Boy, what a competition this has been. This has been by far and away our most competitive, our largest competition to date. Lots of great coaches, lots of great games, and we've got 3 more to play in this second competition of the season. Tonight we have the number 2 and the number 3. I was going to say the number C3s. The number 2 and the number 3 seeds facing off tonight. It is Elf versus Elf tonight. It's gonna be the Real American Heroes versus Elfitus, Australis, Dead Fred versus Eric, Dark Elves versus Wood Elves. Let's take a look at this bracket real quick before we take a look at the 2 teams. This is the way the bracket has shaken out after 9 weeks of regulation play in this competition. The White Skull Windbreakers, they finish out regulation play as the top seed. They are an Orc team. Doug, the Minotaur, the coach. He's current league champion, Kurt KS Cup champion. He'll be up against Nick Satan's Cenozoic Park Lizardman team. That is the second semi-final game. That'll be played tomorrow night. But tonight we've got the Real American Heroes versus Elfitus Australis. The winner of tonight's game will earn a spot in the Blood Bowl, and the winner of the finals will not only be crowned the new Spike Magazine Trophy champion, but they will advance in the upper bracket rather than the lower bracket. Why can I not hear the game at all? Can you hear the game? I can't hear the game. There we go. Now I can hear the game. I had audio trouble before. The stream, and I quickly fixed it and forgot to hit a combo box. First up, which should be the home team this evening, the Real American Heroes. They're actually going to be the away team. Doesn't matter too much in Blood Bowl 3, so we're just going to let this rock. They're coming in with a full 11-player roster. 8, 9, 10, 11. Has all 4 blitzers on this roster. Has a runner, 2 witch elves, and a bunch of linemen. 1,440,000 gold. Is the team value tonight. 1 apothecary, 5 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against who should be the away team tonight. That's going to be Eric's Elfitus Australis. They are coming in a player down, and critically, it's Michael Jordan, that War Dancer. The number War Dancer will not be taking to the pitch this evening. They'll have to pick up a journeyman, or he has a lot of treasury. He can pick up another War Dancer should he choose. But regardless, it's going to bring him up to at least an effective TV of 1,180,000 gold. That's 240,000 gold that will be going back. That will be coming to Elfitus Australis this evening. Just the 1 War Dancer, a thrower, a catcher, and a whole bunch of linemen, 1 oppo, 4 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. How are these 2 teams going to play tonight? Well, the semifinals, we have 2 elves duking it out in the semifinals. We have 2 bashy teams duking out in the semifinals. This elf matchup can be a little tricky. The Real American Heroes, they're the bashy team tonight. They've got an AV advantage. They've got the block advantage, right? They have all 4 blitzers. The Wood Elves can't even field 4 blitzers. So he's got all 4 blitzers, 3 of which are blodgers, 2 of which have sidestep. They can remain where they need to be at all times. Sidestep means that Dead Fred will be able to reposition that blitzer whenever he gets blocked. Blodge means that a POW is the only thing that's going to knock down Hawk or Zogtan. And with 6 players with the block skill, he has a distinct advantage in the Bashy game this evening. Those 2 Witch Elves has Frenzy as well. 1 is missing the block skill crucially, but that means Dead Fred probably not going to try the Surf with Scarlet unless it's an easy option. Really wants to take the Blitz with the Baroness instead. The Baroness is the one with block. Frenzy means 4 die blocks more or less. 2 die blocks unless things go awry. That's very good for removing players from the pitch. It's very good for knocking down players as well. And against a very fragile team, a knockdown is a pretty good bet for a removal, right? It's certainly not better than 50-50. It's much lower than that. But being so fragile, Dead Fred really wants to pay, or the Wood Elves being so fragile, Dead Fred really wants to play the bashing game tonight, try to get that player advantage. He has a number of players with Wrestle as well that tends to be more powerful against the more bashy teams that we've been seeing this season and indeed in this competition. Still will be very useful in this matchup as well. With that AV advantage, with the block advantage, with those two frenzy players, Dead Fred wants to play like an orc. If he can play like an orc team tonight, I think he can pull out a victory here and advance to the finals. He's going to be up against this Wood Elf team. They are certainly not out of it. Every single one of these players is a fantastic player, even at level 1. These Wood Elf linemen, they have an MA of 7. That's great. They have an AG of 2+. That's fantastic, right? Their real weakness here is their low AV at 8+. All across the board makes them very, very brittle. Scottie Pippen will be playing tonight. Michael Jordan will not be. Scottie Pippen has picked up not only tackle, but another point of movement. An MA9 War Dancer. That is a blodger. Oh, I'm sorry, I've just been rambling and nobody can hear me. All right. Wow, I don't know what's going on. I'll have to keep an eye on the captions here to see if my mic cuts out. Lots of audio issues today. Anyhow, we've got about a minute before the game gets started. Big speed advantage for this team this evening. Elfitus Australis needs to leverage that speed advantage. On defense, that means he can switch the momentum whenever he sees fit, right? Well, not whenever he sees fit, but maybe if he picks off a player or two, maybe if he opens up a hole in the offensive line, he can start to apply heavy pressure to the offensive cage. On offense, Elfitus Australis, we might see them lean a little more heavily into the passing game. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to pass, but it means maybe they threaten the passing game a little more. That way they could spread out the defensive formations, spread out the defensive line, keep them from getting those too many two-die blocks, and then start to move that ball forward. If they can open up a hole, they have a very distinct speed advantage where they can just run away scot-free. So Elfitus Australis really playing an elf game tonight. The Dark Elves playing a little more of a bashy game tonight. If Elfitus Australis can leverage their speed, I think they win tonight. If Dead Fred can get a significant player advantage, I think they're going to win tonight. We'll see what happens. It's anybody's ball game. It's going to be a real exciting one. It'll probably come down to a lot of positioning and a lot of tactics. And it's hard to say who's going to be a winner, right? They're going to be up against, not only do they have to come out of this game as a winner, but they have to come out of this game fit to play either a Lizard or an Orc team in the finals. So it's going to be a real tricky game, both tactically and strategically. But let's see if the coaches are ready to go in Discord, and we'll get this game underway. Looks like indeed the coaches are readying up for this game tonight. Here we are. Yeah, all my audio devices are all messed up for some reason. That time I didn't even take my mic off my mic. Didn't even take my foot off the pedal, and mic cut out for some reason. All right, so 30K down, so 210K. In, 20K up, so 260K. I always get the two confused. 260K in petty cash for Elfitus Australis to pick up here. Star players, we didn't even get an opportunity to talk about star players. I think Eldril Sidewinder might be a pick for Elfitus Australis this evening. Eldril. I think I just lost my mic again. There we go. Eldril, MA8, strength 3, has dodge, has hypno. Might be a player to pick for Elfitus Australis this evening. Lots more star players available than earlier in the game's lifespan with the Wood Elves here. has a number of options to choose. I honestly don't like a whole lot of these. I think Eldril's a solid pickup. Maybe some of these, I haven't really looked at Asperon Thorn here too much. But we'll see what Elfitus Australis decides to do. With 260k, he might just go with a Wizard. A Wizard's always a solid option. Elden Brutus says, that guy with Hypnogaze is a game winner. Ask me how I know. yeah, Eldril's a really good player in my opinion. Looks like Eric's going to go with the Wizard. That's going to be 110k left for inducements, and picks up a Wandering Apothecary. So is expecting the player removals here. We'll have a second Apothecary to spend. Elfitus Australis wins the coin toss. They will probably be on defense to start. Yes, indeed they will. This is going to guarantee 11 players on the pitch for the defense of this Wood Elf team. So electing to go with the Wizard instead of Eldril Sidewinder. Uplash has a severe track of... Boy, not only... maybe it's a good thing that my audio devices aren't working tonight, because apparently I can't speak either. Uplash says a severe lack of treatment. Yes, indeed. A Wood Elf team, the only Elven team with access to big guys in the form of Treeman. Three on the line for Elfitus Australis. Giving up the sidelines to this Dark Elf team. Remember, the Wood Elf team has a pretty clear speed advantage. All of their slowest player is MA7. They have MA8 on the catcher, and one of the on Michael Jordan, who's not on the field tonight, and then MA9 on Scottie Pippen. Elden Bruno says, streaming are the best for passing defense. The ball gets stuck in their limbs like Charlie Brown's kite. You just put them right at center pitch. Nobody's going to pass the ball. 5 on the line here for the Real American Heroes. They've got Zartan, the number 3 blitzer, in the center position. All 4 of the blitzers on the line, with Tomax, the injured lineman, with Russell, the right tackle. Duke naturally back to receive here for the Real American Heroes. And here's the kick to get this semi-final match underway. Middling kick, change of weather will remain the same. The ball kicked to the opposing 12-yard line. And we're on the clock. Real American Heroes with 4 rerolls for the entire game. The Wizard, currently a threat. It's going to inform how he forms up his offense here. 2-die block on the left defensive end here will be a POW. Garca Morcia Hot. The left defensive end, no armor break. 2-die block on Sophiel, the number 1 lineman, apparently an angel. Block skill is going to make this a successful block. Well done. The thrower on the line here. Zaya Dress Angel face. The last block to take on the line. This will be a push. We're gonna build a new computer this year. My computer's not necessarily, I mean, my computer's old, but not, I wouldn't call it old. Like, my computer's pretty good, for lack of a better term. Good pickup by Duke. But I think I just wanna something new. I usually do it around Christmas time with the long holiday break. Gives me time to, like, not have a computer, you know? I mean, I still have my laptop, I suppose. Boot polishes, I'm still on Windows 10. 8 years old. That old? No, not that old. 5 seconds left on the clock here. Takes a blitz on Toko Chimichurri. Gets a POW on the injured lineman. Can he break armor at an 8+? He cannot. Turn 1 on the bonus clock here for the Real American Heroes. They're down to 7 minutes, 14 seconds. This is the semifinals. That means that there are no draws left in the Spike Magazine Trophy. Every game has to end with a winner, and that means we'll have overtime if this game ends in a draw. Well, if the second half ends in a draw. Elfitus Australis with the option to use the fireball here. They might be thinking about it. They might be AFK. They have a minute 15 seconds left to decide to use use the fireball. Not sure what's going on. Ball currently on the Real American Heroes 16-yard line. I hope Eric's not away from his computer, because once this timer runs out, Eric will be on the clock for their first turn in the game. Eric Leinart in the chat. How do we avoid launching the fireball? Don't use it. You should have an option to not use it. If you hit it already, I'm not sure. If you've already pressed the button, I'm not sure. I guess letting the time run out. That works. Turn 1 now for Elfitus Australis. I hope we don't have to do that all game. Oh, look at this formation. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Two-die War Dancer Blitz to get this turn started for Elfitus Australis. They got the POW on Shipwreck. Looking for a 9+ here to break armor. Beware of what happens when you draw on the screen. I gotta say, with all the various different dice, I like having the different dice options, but it is nice to see some good old white dice, some white D6s with black pips. Elfitus Australis repositioning their defense, just staying in front of the offense, not trying to give up blocks to this bashy team, at least in this matchup. SP Beaver says, I legit forgot that white dice was even a dice option. Good 2+ dodge by number 11. All those dodges, if they're positive, they'll be a 2+ for the both teams, in fact. So Eric, you should be able to just hit end of turn in the middle where the clock is, and that should end it for you. Oh no. Move09 says right click to not use fireball. Maybe? I thought you just didn't choose the fireball option, you ended the turn. But it looks like Eric's figured it out here. Dipped into bonus time a little bit. I don't think it'll be a problem. 7 minutes, 7 seconds left on the clock. Turn 2 now for the Real American Heroes. You might be right, Move. I'm not sure. I haven't had an opportunity to get fireballs all season. Actually, that's not true. I've had plenty of opportunities to get fireballs. I just haven't. And another turn, starting off with a blitz. 2-die blitz by the Baroness will be a push into a frenzy follow-up here. 2-die follow-up into another push, trying to pick off one of these defensive players. Moves are nice. I've had a wizard once, couldn't figure out the zap, but right-click, didn't use fireball. Oh boy, works out here to do the block skill. Breaks armor. Got a stun out of it. I have zapped a player in BB3. That's fun. You get an achievement for it, in fact. Repositions the second Witch Elf Scarlet. Number 13, just forward one space, right inside, or right to the outside of center pitch, I should say. As you can tell by the pitch, Elfitus Australis, the home team, they should have been the away team in this matchup, but the administration tools, they have a seating option, but it didn't pair teams up the way I would expect seating to work. so we had to reset the competition, just break these into two competitions. But turn two, back to Elfitus Australis. Very cautious game by this offense so far. I would have thought for sure he'd be going in a little more aggressively, but he does want to be a little bit wary of opening up a gap to allow a number of Wood Elves to flood through. Two-die blitz by Scotty Pippin. So both standing result or a push, he will choose the push naturally. He's going to say, "Get off of me." Cobra Commander pushed across the line of scrimmage. El Nurino says that was a nice move with the Witch Elf pushing the lineman back for a second hit, but also giving protection for the Witch, almost like Dead Fred has played Frenzy before. Dead Fred, of course, fielded Wood Elves for an entire season last season. He's picked up Dark Elves this season. Turn three for the Real American Heroes. This ball has not budged since the pickup. It's currently on the Real American Heroes 16-yard line. Duke currently in control of the ball. Minute 16 seconds left on the clock here for the Real American Heroes. Two-die blitz in the left wide zone. Gets a knockdown here on Garka Mosia High. Oh, thank you, folks. Got the KO, first removal of this game. One-man player advantage for the Real American Heroes. Repositions the number 2 blitzer Hawk to get in front of the knockdown number 9 lineman. Good positioning. That's Beaver says. The real question is, did he go back and count every square he moved, or just the game track it somewhere? The game tracks it. Oh, did I cut out there? It looks like I cut out after I said, did he go back and count everything, but I'm not sure. Turn 3 now for Elfitus Australis. It is a hot, hot day here in the mid-Atlantic on the east coast of the United States, let me tell you. Three turns down. The ball has not moved on the offense. Defense going in for the blitz here. Scottie Pippen will be the blitzer almost each and every time. Gets a pal out of this. And that's because he has block and tackle. Block makes him a little bit safer on the block. Tackle will negate dodge. Yeah, it's been hot. Reposition Scottie Pippen back into the secondary. Failed dodge by Cacho, double quote. Needs a 3+ due to the mark. Decides not to spend the reroll. And gets stunned. That'll be a turnover. Turn 4 now for the Real American Heroes. Blue Polish as a Floridian that works outside, it's my favorite time of the year. Not mine. Certainly not mine. Real American Heroes going in to take a mark on Toko Chimichurri, the number 8 injured lineman on the right side of this defensive formation. Going in, gets the knockdown here by Cobra Commander. Breaks armor. And that's a stun. Well done. So it looks like he's going to be trying to push this defense to the right. Currently a pretty big gap. Not a gap per se, but easy 2+ dodge to get out of here. If Elfitus Australis wants to try to apply some pressure from the left, but we'll see. Looks like he's setting up a cage over in the left wide zone. Good handoff by Duke to the Baroness, the number 12 Witch Elf, also a blodger. Blue says, sometimes I wish I studied more in party less in school. You know what? I spent a lot of time, not to get too serious here. Oh, failed the rush here. Had to spend the reroll, yeah. Down to three rerolls for the Joes, the Real American Heroes. Gets Hawk, the number 2 blitzer, on the front right corner of this half cage with the Baroness. I spent a lot of time when I was younger, sort of mulling. I'm like, oh man, I wish I did blank more, but I don't think I do. I think everybody gains something out of whatever they do. Final turn of the first quarter coming up. Elfitus Australis on defense. The ball has crossed the line of scrimmage. Is now on the opposing 10-yard line on the left sideline, in the hands of the Baroness, the number 12 Witch Elf. Pitiful the Invisible, the number 10 Wood Elf lineman, is going to move back into the safety position for Elfitus Australis. Elfitus Australis currently 1 player down. 11v10 on the pitch. Alan Parsons, the catcher, will move back as well. The catcher only has a strength of 2. It does have an MA of 8 and is a blodger. Takes a mark with Zangief, marking Cobra Commander. Two-die blitz on Zangief. On Cobra Commander by Scottie Pippen gets the foul here. Stays put. Has plenty of movement left with Scottie Pippen. And we'll reposition Scottie Pippen back to center pitch. Seconds left on the clock. Good 2+ dodge by the thrower. Zayadress Angel Face is going to move into the left wide zone, just ahead of the faux cage. And Macho the Dagger will cover the sideline. Risky proposition to blitz with the Witch Elf, and that's due to Frenzy. Not so much. It's not the dice that make it risky. It's the fact that the Witch Elf would have to follow up. So the Witch Elf as a ball carrier, if they want to take a blitz to clear a lane, they've got to hope they get a knockdown, or else they're going to end up marked. Turn 5 down. Second quarter begins. The Real American Heroes on the opposing 10-yard line on the left sideline. I think the first order of business will probably be to move Roadblock back into this drive. No action after 40 seconds. By the Real American Heroes. They have 3 rerolls left. They do have to be careful, be mindful rather, of that wizard. They don't want to get too grouped together and risk a fireball being lobbed at them. Also have to be mindful of the zap. Two-die block on Zayadress. This will be a knockdown. Oh, first injury of the game. Well done. That Wandering Apothecary is going to be spent here. Actually, according to this icon, that was the real Apothecary. And a bad Apothecary at that. Two-man player advantage now for the Real American Heroes. Do you think Dead Fred has forgotten about Roadblock? On the bonus clock once more here for the Real American Heroes. Duke, the number 11 runner, is going to move forward and mark Zangief. Sets up a proper half cage on the Baroness over on the left sideline. This bonus clock has to last not just for 2 halves, but potentially for overtime as well. Plus rush by Chuckles, the rookie lineman, to take a mark on Alan Parsons, the catcher playing safety. And that'll be the turn. So 2 guys now left on the other side of the pitch. Just hanging out there, having a chat. Roadblock like, hey, oh, spent the fireball. Wow, big fireball time here. Is that a phrase? Spent the fireball at the end of the turn, got 2 knockdowns, and those are the 2 corners of the half cage. Got a removal as well. 1-man player advantage for the Real American Heroes, but now that Witch Elf all alone. Remember, she does have sidestep, however. That means that it's going to be real difficult to surf the Baroness. And not only that, but Elfitus Australis will really have to think carefully to ensure the Baroness goes where Eric wants him to go. There's that mark from behind by Pocho the Panther. And that's a mark not just for as an assist, but also to eat up this corner space and make sure that the Baroness does not sidestep here. 3+ dodge fails, spends the reroll. There's 2. Here we go. Surf attempt by Macho the Dagger. 2 die block. Double skulls. He'll have to re-roll this. Got a push. That's all he needed. Well done by Eric. Oh, he didn't have this filled in. Oh, man. I thought he had this filled in here, too. You know what? I'll still be real excited. Well done by Eric. Gets a push out of it. Dodges back to safety with the blitzer. Takes a mark on Shipwreck with Pitifo the Invisible. Fails a 2+ dodge again. Might just let this rock. We'll see what he decides. It's down to 1 reroll for the half. Yeah, lets it go. Especially because that's the journeyman, Sophiel. No sense in risking losing a reroll over that failed dodge. Turn 6 now for the Real American Heroes. I got overly excited. I thought when these 2 filled in here, my brain just filled in these 4 spaces. It's like, oh, he's got it. He's got all this covered. All 4. He did not, though. Oh boy. So whenever I stream, I turn the central air off, and any fans or ceiling fans and all that stuff, I turn all that off just so it's quiet. But boy, it's really hot. 55 seconds left in the turn. 2-die blitz on Macho the Dagger. Can wrestle him to the ground here. Gonna go for the push instead. Gets another push and closes off that sideline once more. So now it's a 2+ dodge. It's 2 2+ dodges to score with the Baroness if the Real American Heroes want to score on turn 6. But that's a risky proposition, giving up 3 turns to a Wood Elf team. 2-die block back at center pitch against Alan Parsons. Gets a dodge push out of this. Two-die block on Zangief. Another push. 3 rerolls left for the half of the Real American Heroes. They're back on the bonus clock. Under 6 minutes left. SP Beaver says, "You do know there are other faces of the dice, right? Of the dice, right? 2+ dodge works out." Two 2+ dodges to reposition Zartan to take a mark on Macho the Dagger. And then repositions the ball carrier. The Baroness, after the 2+ dodge, is going to reposition on the 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 yard line. Why didn't I just count it this way? Dodging for days, dodging and rushing, repositions Tomax as well to get in on the protective game. And now, turn 6 for Elfitus Australis. So roadblock indeed forgotten at this point. Gets a second mark to try to knock down Cobra Commander. He'll get the knockdown. This is going to make it much more viable to put a player in this spot. Well, he's done it with the knockdown. Even better. Even better. So now the Baroness will have nowhere to go on a potential blitz. Two+ dodge by Alan Parsons to take a mark on Destro. Scrum forming in the left side of the pitch here. The blitz. It's going to be against Destro. Oh, look at this beautiful chain push. Look at this beautiful chain push. My word. Are we in the semifinals? I think we are. Look at this beautiful chain push. Gonna move players first before taking this block. Roll a skull. He'll have to re-roll this. Got the... My word. I would never, ever in my life have seen that. Well done by Eric and Elfitus Australis here. We'll see where the ball gets thrown back onto the pitch. And it's going to get thrown back in just about where it is, where it was before, but now at center pitch. Semifinals, folks. Look at this chain push to set up the surf on this sidestepping Witch Elf. Very well played. Two+ dodge. Fails the... Fails the pickup. 2+ pickup by Toko Chimichurri. Fails the pickup. The ball's going to scatter to the 14-yard line. Center pitch. Boopal says, did Fred ever move his safety because he's playing 3D chess? If he didn't. He did not. Yeah, there he is. He did not. I thought he was forgotten about. Maybe he wasn't. 3 rerolls left for the real American heroes. They have 2 turns to try to recover this ball and get on the board. Fantastic defense on display here by Elfitus Australis. Real American heroes are going to want to try to box in the remainder of this defense somehow. Take a mark on the ball with Duke. I am in awe of that block. Well done. 3+ dodge. Another mark on the ball here. Hawk, the number 2 blitzer. Dodges away from Zangief. 2-die block, 2-die blitz on the journeyman. We'll get a knockdown here. Pushes onto the ball, hoping for a favorable scatter. Breaks armor. And that's what I'd call a favorable scatter. In the hands of Chuckles, the number 7 rookie lineman. Real American Heroes will recover the ball here in turn 7. Can they hold on to it and score in turn 8? Great armor break, great ball bounce. Wizard has been spent, no longer a threat, so the Real American Heroes don't have to worry about their formation. Well, as much anyway. You always have to worry about your formation. Two dodges to reposition Cobra Commander. Marks Cacho double quote and Pocha the Panther on the left side of the ball carrier over just inside the left wide zone. Boot Polish says poor Chuckles, his future's going to be rough. Yeah, no skills on this rookie lineman. Gonna have to pray to Nuffle a bit. Elfitus Australis has no rerolls remaining. Turn 7 now. Real American Heroes, even if Chuckles gets knocked down, they have a number of players in scoring position. Play Max Payne. Played Max Payne back in the day, and I've decided to reinstall all of Remedy's their catalog of games, except for the Death Race or whatever it was called. Maybe I can try to install that in an emulator or something. But good 2-die blitz gets the knockdown. Oh no! 2-die blitz gets the knockdown on Truckles, and now the ball is going to bounce into the hands of Alan Parsons, the catcher. Decided to reinstall their entire game collection. I played Quantum Break when the Xbox One was new. I enjoyed it. I've never played Control though, so I wanna give Control a go. I never played Max Payne 3 either. I don't know if Remedy made Max Payne 3, but I also want to try Alan Wake Remastered and Alan Wake 2. So I'm excited to run through those games. Turn 8 now for the Real American Heroes. They are going to have to blitz this ball out of the hands of Alan Parsons and recover it and score. Can they do it? Minute 5 left on the clock. You know what I don't understand about like those fat like multi-bladed razors? You know, like the Gillette Razor 14 with 73 blade. Like, how do you get like the hair like just under your nose? You know what I mean? Like the tippy top of a mustache. Like the blade's too thick. 2-die blitz on Alan Parsons. This is going to be a dodge push. He'll have to re-roll this. He's looking to see if maybe he can make a block work out, but he cannot, and it's just going to be a push. So now he has to rely on Tomax for the block. Tomax with wrestle. The power of both down would do it. Currently a 1-die against Alan Parsons. He's desperately trying to find a way to make it a 2-die, and it's going to be a number of dodges to do that. He made it. There are the 2 dodges, and now the block by Tomax. 2-die block. He got the pal he needed. But who's going to be the scorer? It's going to depend on where this ball bounces. Got an injury out of this. Another permanent removal unless the apothecary is spent, and the apothecary will be spent. That is the wandering apothecary spent. And again, these apothecaries, did they go to school? Wow, that ball, that bounce. Oh boy. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 GFI or rush. You could do it with Zartan. I guess he could do it with Cobra Commander. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rush. Oh, it looks like it's going to be Zartan. Two rerolls left. This is the final turn. SP Beaver with the emergency rush warning. Thank you very much for the bits. Failed dodge. Needs to re-roll this to keep the drive alive. Failed dodge again. Oh no! What? All right. Rolling to interfere. He's going to pass the ball instead back to the left wide zone. Elfitus Australis with the interception attempt. And the interception attempt was successful now! Decided to go for the pass here. And would you believe it, Macho the Dagger. Macho the Dagger with the interception. Boot Polish, thank you very much for the bits. And this defense is going to hold the offense. Wow. Block on Shipwreck. Shipwreck, not long for this world. Here it comes. 2-9 Blitz. Got the surf. Well done. We'll see if this sticks. And it does. Well done. SP Beaver says, was that safer than the dodge to double GFI? I don't think so, no. Because he did the dodges anyway. So I think the dodge to double GFI was the way to go. This is the final apothecary of the entire game. And this one works out. The Real American Hero is apparently with the only apothecary, licensed apothecary in the old world. Neither team with an apothecary remaining. Boot Polish says, hey, in this league, 2 900% rushes? You think that was safer? Good dodge. Good dodge by Scottie Pippen for the 3-die block on Zartan. Gets the PAL. Looking for a 9+ here to break armor. No armor break. And I believe that'll be the half. 0-0 at the half. Boy, what a hard-fought half that was. And we've got a whole other half to go. Neither team getting back a KO either. So the removals will stand. Real American Heroes to set up their defense for the second half of this game. They'll be at 10. It'll be 10 versus 8, I think. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 10v8 on the pitch. 2-man player advantage for the Real American Heroes. Tie ball game. The Real American Heroes at a distinct speed disadvantage, but they do have a player advantage. We'll see if they can capitalize on that in this half. The Elfitus Australis down a Witch Elf. That is massive. That means no Witch Elves. Elfitus Australis. Real American Heroes, excuse me. It means one Witch Elf on the pitch here for this defense instead of the two frenzy players. Very similar defense by Dead Fred as we saw by Eric in the first half of the game, giving up the sidelines, but has to be a little careful about that, seeing as the Wood Elf team outpaces this defensive team by about 2 spaces. Or 2 MA, I should say. 5 on the offensive line currently. Scottie Pippen back to receive, the number 2 War Dancer. Has the Journeyman as the right tackle. That Journeyman's job is to just tie players up and take hits. Middling kick, just like the first, just like the first half. And on the pitch invasion, Tomax, the right defensive end, matched up with Zangief, the right guard. Both are stunned. Turn 9 now for Elfitus Australis. First block of the half. It's going to be a knockdown. But no armor break. Tougher for this Wood Elf team to break the armor of this Dark Elf team as they have average armor at 9+. The Witch Elves, of course, are the standard Elven Wood Elf there, I should say. They're down to 8+. 2-die block gets a knockdown on Chuckles. Leveraging wrestle players to try to make these blocks a little more safe. And it's 2 on the line block. Might try to block with Sophiel toward the end of the turn. We'll see. Nope, gonna space Sophiel out 1 space to the right. Gonna move this ball up to the 10-yard line. Good pickup by Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen by far and away the star of this team, the most expensive player on the team as well. The number 2 War Dancer. 61 rushing yards on the season for Scottie Pippen. Has 2 kills to his name and 3 casualties as well. Turn 9 now for the Real American Heroes. Defensive line moving right back into position for the Real American Heroes. Applying early pressure. Advances Hawk, the number 2 blitzer, back across the line of scrimmage. And has got to mark one of these 2 halfbacks. Cacho double quote marked. Trying to cut off the line as well. Trying to secure the left side of the pitch. Force the ball to move to the right. 2-die blitz on Toko Chimichurri over in the right wide zone. Gets a POW out of this. And breaks armor. And that's a stun. Teams vying for a spot in the Blood Bowl. They're vying to try to win the competition, of course. But the winner of tonight's match will advance to the Blood Bowl to face off against the White Skull Windbreakers, coached by Doug the Minotaur. That's an Orc team. And Nevagana, another Orc team coached by Chime. Turn 10 now for Elfitus Australis. Scottie Pippen blitz gets a POW on Chuckles. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. Scottie Pippen on the opposing 2-yard line now. SPB Verassus is 10v8. It is indeed. Yeah, there's that massive speed by the Wood Elf team. One rush and Scottie Pippen in the right wide zone on the opposing 12-yard line, just off the right sideline. Sofiel, the journeyman, moves back to cover the ball carrier. Couple of dodges here. Yeah, there's another one. Back left corner of the would-be cage. Needs to get a tackle zone in front of the Witch Elf. Scottie Pippen completely protected now with these three blockers in scoring position without any rushes. And there's that tackle zone in front of the Baroness. Well done. Zangief's going to get in position and exert some tackle zones between the defense and the ball carrier. And there's another one by Pocho the Panther. Seconds on the clock. 5 minutes, 28 seconds left in bonus time for Elfitus Australis. Well done by Eric to open up that hole and get most of this offense through the hole. The Real American Hero, their job now is to try to, if they can't get at the ball, it's to try to force the score. Turn 10 for the Real American Heroes. It's going to take a few turns. Roadblock marks Cacho and Pitiful. They're covering the rear of the ball carrier. Zartan, the number 3 blitzer, will come in as well. Trying to stop any retreating, hopefully getting a couple of blocks out of it in the upcoming turn. Tomex takes a mark on Zangief. Duke, the leader on the team, moves back into position, fails a rush, spends a reroll to get Cobra Commander, marking Zangief from a forward position. Destro will do the same against Pocho the Panther. Real American Heroes trying to put themselves in a position to try to force the score. You need to be careful that players don't get picked off here, though. Witch Elf blitz. 2-die block. Gets a push on Cacho. Follow up to try to surf. 2-die block. Got the surf. Well done. 3-man player advantage now by the Real American Heroes. They're back on the bonus clock with just 2 minutes, 32 seconds left on the bonus clock for the rest of the game. Elfitus Australis, turn 11. They can score now if they wish. But I don't think they wish. Two-die blitz on Duke. Boy, oh boy. Gets the knockdown. Can he get the 8+? Duke's injured. If he can get this armor break, could be a removal. Got the armor break. Got a stun out of it. Every stun's going to matter here for Elfitus Australis. That's potentially one more turn they can hold off. Bit of a risky spot to try to hold off in the right wide zone. Might try to shift this ball over to the left. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Good dodge by Pocho the Panther. Sets up a pocket at mid-pitch. Trying to eat away at the clock, so to speak. Trying to remove turns. Stall as long as possible. And Scottie Pippen's going to move back to center pitch. He is now on the 24-yard line. Just outside that, frankly, very dangerous end zone. I mean, somebody's going to break a tooth. Good 2+ dodge by Toko Chimichurri to get across the line of scrimmage. Elfitus Australis on bonus time with 5 minutes 10 seconds on the clock for the game. Fails the 3+ dodge here. Lets it rock. And now turn 11 for the Real American Heroes. You're right, he did not let it rock. He tried to reroll and he failed the reroll. Good call. Two dodges to take a mark on the ball carrier. Destro, the marking player. Witch Elf is going to advance forward and mark Pitifo. Witch Elf just inside the left wide zone. Seconds on the clock. Real American Heroes really trying to force this score. Might want to pull somebody over in the left. Oh boy, tough. Might be trying to set up a blitz. Still has the blitz on the table with 2 minutes 5 seconds left in the bonus clock. Could try a blitz that if it fails, you can push him into the end zone. Nope. Fails the rush. Gonna spend a reroll here. It's the 2-dot. Got the pow on Scottie Pippen. Oh boy, is this ball gonna stay on the pitch? We'll see. It does not. This ball bounces into the hands of the journeyman. Oh, man. Took the blitz and pushed him into the end zone. And that made the ball bounce out of bounds into the hands of the journeyman. So now, the Real American, Elfitus Australis has another opportunity, more than likely, to try to score here. Can't really go after the Witch Elf due to sidestep. Doesn't want to risk that. Could go after Tomax, however. Doesn't really want to risk the blitz with the journeyman either. Maybe a dodge out by Pitifo to get a 2-die block on Tomax, and then Sophiel can score. Sophiel can score without a GFI. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, gonna go after Shipwreck instead. Dodge blitz by Scottie Pippen gets the POW here. This is gonna open up the lane. Well, will Elfitus Australis score here? I think they will. Yeah, there it is. Well done. 1-0 the score. Elfitus Australis on the board in their offensive drive. Well done. Noob Zero Down says, why dodge before the blitz if he's scoring? I don't know. I don't know. But regardless, well done by Elfitus Australis. They're going to take the lead here 1-0. Real American Heroes are going to have a second shot on offense here. They're going to have a little over an entire half to do it. KO still doesn't come back for Elfitus Australis. No, for either team even. Elfitus Australis down to 8 players on the pitch. Eight players on the pitch for Elfitus Australis, one of which is a journeyman. They'll be in the center defensive tackle position. So still 10v8 on the pitch. 2-man player advantage for the Real American Heroes. Duke back to receive, naturally. Duke a leader. 3 rerolls on the roster for the Real American Heroes, but thanks to Duke, so long as he's fielded on the drive, he will be adding an additional reroll. That's why you saw the Real American Heroes starting with 4 rerolls. One wide to the right, 2 to the left. Elfitus Australis to kick. Shallow kick, cheering fans. Oh boy, what does Nuffle have to say? Who won this? Who won this? Elfitus Australis wins this, so somebody's getting +1 AV. Elfitus Australis will very much appreciate that. And naturally, it's going to be Scottie Pippen, MA9 AV9. Turn 12 now. The ball in the hands of Duke already. Two-die block on the left defensive tackle will be a push. Probably pushes him to the side to get another block out of this. Yes, indeed. Gets the knockdown here with Hawk. Looking for an 8+. Two-die block on the center defensive tackle. This will be a knockdown as well. A follow-up for sure. Breaks armor. Hoping for the removal. Gets a stun. Final two-die block on the line. That'll be a wrestle down on Macho the Dagger. Both players will be prone, but there'll be no armor break. Eight seconds left on the clock here for the Real American Heroes. if they run this clock out, they'll be down to 1 minute 32 seconds on the bonus clock for the rest of the game. That carries through to overtime. All right, they're going to take a mark on the left outer linebacker. Cacho double quote. Here comes the blitz. 2-die blitz. Got the pal. Has to follow up with the Baroness. Breaks armor. Got an injury. 3-man player advantage. Well done. The American Heroes are the bashy team here. And Dead Fred has been playing into that advantage that he has in this matchup. 10 v7 on the pitch. 3-man player advantage for the real American Heroes. Elfitus Australis on turn 13, fourth and final quarter. Well, I shouldn't say the final quarter. Fourth quarter begins. Elfitus Australis wants to hold on to this lead to advance to the finals. Real American Heroes want to get on the board and move to overtime. Overtime's going to be really, really risky because it's a coin toss. Both of these teams definitely want to be in control of the ball. I would say most any team wants to be in control of the ball on overtime. If the Wood Elf team gets it, they have such a speed advantage that it might be difficult to stop them. So Dead Fred really wants to make sure they can get this player advantage as high as possible. Blitz to knock down Destro. And applying pressure now with Zangief. Down to 7 players on the pitch, but still aggressive on defense. Zangief's going to move behind the offensive line. Fails a 2+ dodge roll. Dead Fred says, keep it coming. Elfitus Australis re-rolls that. They're down to 1 re-roll for the entire game. If this game goes to overtime, you do not get your re-rolls back. Turn 13, back to the real American Heroes. Boy, just think about what's happened here, right? It feels like the turn's just started. We are down 20 seconds already. You have 2 minutes on the clock to perform your whole turn, right? Ideally, that's 11 players that you have to action. It is not a lot of time. You really have to have a game plan in mind and have something ready to go in motion. Bonus clock helps, but remember, the real American Hero is down to just a little over 1 minute on the bonus clock. Good handoff by Duke. Handoffs are, I was going to say passes without the pass, but really a handoff is just a catch roll. So Hawk with an AG2+. It's a 2+ catch, works out. Ball in the hands of the number 2 blitzer. Lodger with sidestep, pretty safe player to have as a ball carrier. Like the Minotaur welcome to the stream says, there's plenty of time. 50 seconds left of that time. I have been playing so much Shin Megami Tensei 5. I'm a big fan of the Megaten series. If you're unfamiliar, it's a Japanese JRPG series about like a war. It's about the apocalypse, and usually you as the protagonist, you're a human, and you get to decide sort of which side wins, heaven or hell, or in some cases you can even choose no one. Ball's going to advance to the left sideline to the opposing 10-yard line. 2-9 blitz gets a push. Frenzy follow-up here by the Baroness gets the pal. Well done. Can even go with both down result if he wishes to not move forward, but he moves forward instead. Gets the armor break and gets a good stun out of this. Well done. I love the series. The series is pretty well known for its involved game mechanics. Like it's a game where you can't just press buttons and win. But I love it. It originally came out on the Switch, and the Switch just, man, I couldn't play it. Like the frame rate was so bad. Like, it would dip into the 20s, sometimes lower, 20 frames per second, that is. And I've been waiting patiently for an update. Atlas is the company that makes the games. They tend to, usually, they'll create like an updated version of the game. If you've heard of the Persona series, that's a spin-off of Megaten. But anyway, I've been playing it, been having an absolute blast. I love it so much. Oh. You capture demons to like be in your party with you, kind of like Pokemon, but you have to negotiate with them, and sometimes they want money, sometimes they want items, sometimes they just want you to be nice to them, sometimes they don't want you to be a pushover. I played the game last night, and one of them was like, you know what, let's see how smart you are. We're gonna take a quiz. It quizzed me on a demon. I just thought that was great. Wow, multiple dodges and a rush to take a mark on the ball carrier. Zangief now marking Hawk, the number 2 ball carrier. SP Beaver says, and that was fun. It's very fun. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz gets a push on Hawk. Will he re-roll this with his final re-roll? He will. Got the pow. We'll see if the ball stays on the pitch. Imagine, oh, Dead Fred's gonna push inside here. I thought for sure he'd push down pitch. He wants to make sure this ball stays on the pitch, and it's gonna be in the hands of Scottie Pippen. Oh no! Oh no! Great blitz by Elfitus Australis. They get the knockdown, spending the final reroll, and the ball's gonna end up in the hands of the blitzer, Scottie Pippen. Big loss to the Real American Heroes here. Now they're on the back foot with very few turns remaining. 2 good rushes by Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen now on the Elfitus Australis 4-yard line in the left wide zone. Gets a player back to cover the ball carrier. Good dodge to get 2 marks now on Cobra Commander, one of which is the ball carrier itself. Turn 14 for the Real American Heroes. They are running out of time. They need to recover this ball and score, or else their competition ends here. Bupaw says, Elves' movement allowance is still baffling to me. None of this should be possible. Duke, the number 11 runner, he comes in to take a mark on this protective contingent here. Toko and Macho currently protecting Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen, a blotcher. Negating the assist of Macho here if a block's going to come in with Cobra Commander. But probably wants another assist here to come in this space right here. Probably wants an assist here to get the 2-die block, but then still needs a player to recover the ball. Doug the Minotaur says, that's just Elf beautiful synergy. And it is. It is beautiful synergy. Here we go. There's the assist. One Die Black gets a skull here. Has to spend the reroll into a POW. He's going to knock down Scottie Pippen. Really hoping for an armor break here. But remember, Nuffle granted a +1 AB to Scottie Pippen. Got the armor break regardless. Got a KO out of it. What? Oh my goodness gracious. And that ball's going to end up on the sideline. Still has a pass if he really wants to risk this. Not even the grace of Nuffle could save Scottie Pippen. What? Oh, I see. He really repositioned here. Going for the blitz, the surf blitz. Well done. Dead Fred correcting a mistake, had to dodge. That was the price of making the mistake. Reposition shipwreck to the right side of the ball. Turn 15 for Elfitus Australis now. They have 5 players on the pitch. A massive 5-man player advantage for the Real American Heroes. Minute 4 on the clock here. Elfitus Australis with no rerolls left for the game. A massive disadvantage and player advantage. But plenty of time on the bonus clock here. 4 minutes, 19 seconds on the bonus clock, 50 seconds in regular time. Real American Heroes with 1 reroll left, no time left on the bonus clock. Elfitus Australis, Eric calculating, plotting, trying to figure out how to stop this score. They do not need to get the ball necessarily. They just need to stop the Dark Elves from scoring. "20 seconds left on the clock with no action. The ball's on the Elfitus Australis' 6-yard line on the left sideline. Lupa says if this makes it to overtime, Eric is in trouble. He is. He might get back a couple of players, though. He has 2 KOs. All right. After after the 2-minute turn clock is burnt, we get our first action. 2 dodges by Pocho the Panther. 4 minutes on the bonus clock now for Elfitus Australis. Dr. Mintar says scatter that ball out. SP Beaver says uphill block on the witch off out of bounds. Rolls a skull after 2 dodges on the blitz, rolls a skull. Turn 15 for the Real American Heroes. They have 2 minutes to take action. And the first order of business is to get Pocho the Panther out of the way. Two-die block, that'll do it. Shipwreck with the block. It's going to get the knockdown on Pocho the Panther. 8+ will break armor. He'll push him inside. Rather, not on the sideline, but in toward center pitch. He's going to push him to the sideline. What? Breaks armor. Oh, is it a removal? It's not. It's a stun, but this is a great stun. Why? Oh, I guess Hawk can get out of the way. And I guess I shouldn't be so indignant. I'm not playing. Good 2+ pickup by the Baroness. She can get all the way down to the 18, and she does. The Baroness on the 18-yard line on the left sideline. Half cage set up by the Real American Heroes. They're in a good spot to score and tie this ball game. Double pals on Macho the Dagger. Really wants removals at this point. Doesn't get it there. Two-die block on Toko Chimichurri. If any one of these fails, he will probably let it slide and not spend the team reroll. Wants to have that reroll for overtime. Wants to use it when he really needs it. Good positioning here by Tomax to lock out Sofio. Gets the power on Toko Chimichurri. No armor break. Final second of play. That is the turn. Real American Heroes with no time on the bonus clock. Turn 16 for Elfitus Australis. Final turn. Fails the dodge. That is it. We are going to overtime. Turn 16 for Elfitus Australis. Baroness is picking up 3 SPP. We'll see who wins this coin toss. Well done by the Real American Heroes. Elfitus Australis to get back their 2 KOs. They'll be up to 7 players. All the KOs coming back onto the pitch. We'll see who wins this coin toss. Both coaches hoping, praying that they'll be the one. Elfitus Australis wins the coin toss. They will absolutely receive here. So now the Real American Heroes have to have their best defense of the competition. It's going to be 11v7 on the pitch. The Real American Heroes have to stop this speedy Wood Elf team right here on this drive. SP Beaver says 11v8, 11v7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're right, 11v8. 2-man player advantage. Elfitus Australis won the coin toss. They just need to score. They have the speed advantage. The massive player advantage has been reduced dramatically. It's down to a 3-man player advantage. Elfitus Australis, however, has no rerolls, so action order is going to be very, very important. The Real American Heroes really need to force those risky plays to happen early in the turn for Elfitus Australis. Elfitus Australis with a wide 3-man line. Nobody wide. Scottie Pippen naturally back to receive. Here's the kick. Perhaps the final, well, not perhaps, the final kick of this game is a timeout on the kickoff event. 7 turns in OT. Here we go. Pocho the Panther, the number 7 lineman, catches this ball on the shallow kick. Pocho, the halfback on the 8-yard line. Every single turn critical here. A very fast, very agile team against a very agile, more resilient, but definitely slower team who has player advantage. No rerolls for the Wood Elf team means that Eric can afford no mistakes. We saw a few of those early in this game. We saw Dead Fred, for example, reposition a player. Took a mark. He said, nope, this is not where I want to be. Had to dodge away, reposition that player. Eric cannot afford that. Move09 says no sudden death can be another kick. There's no sudden death? Are you sure? We've had games end in sudden death. Has that been changed? We have had games in Blood Bowl 3 ending kicks. I should be clear. Maybe it is. I'm unaware of a league setting where it creates another overtime. But if that's an option, I should look. But I'm unaware. I'm unaware of a league setting that makes it end in kicks. But we have definitely had BB3 games end in a roll-off, ending kicks. Cage set up on the 8-yard line. Turn 18 for the Real American Heroes. Oh, I see what you're saying. Really? All right, good to know. Thank you. Well, that makes this much less dramatic. That makes this much less dramatic. And remaining to play for the Real American Heroes. Nothing on the bonus clock, so that is all the time they'll have. Chad Fred repositions players, taking marks. Boot polish, thank you for the bits. 2-9 blitz here on Toko Chimichurri, gets a foul. 8+ breaks armor. Has a serious injury as well, but no armor break. Duke's going to reposition, just keeping this defense in formation. Advances a little bit, and now turn 19 for Elfitus Australis. SB Beer says, where have the fouls been? The shader here on the grass makes it look like a pool of water here at center pitch, doesn't it? 2-9 blitz on Zartan, who was the blitzer in the previous turn, gets a push here with Scottie Pippen. Like it looks shimmery. Sidestep push on Zartan after the blitz. Zartan's going to remain marking Scottie Pippen. El Marino's sad that Snotlings didn't make it to the finals. They did not, unfortunately. A good run, though. A good run. The texture's over here? Yeah, this was a war zone. A lot of good men died here. There's also an artillery shot right here. But you know what? Life finds a way. The Roots unfazed. Poacher the Panthers still on the 8-yard line. Two-die block on Chuckles, the rookie lineman, gets a pal here. Garka Murcia hot on the block. Elfitus Australis under 3 minutes on the bonus clock. Eric knows that action order is critical, fails the dodge here, and that'll be a turnover. 2:46 on the bonus clock for Elfitus Australis. Turn 19 for the Real American Heroes. Real American Heroes going in hard here on this offensive contingent. Poacher the Panther, the ball carrier, on Elfitus Australis' own 12-yard line. 2 marks on the players forward of the ball carrier. Gets a knockdown on the number 11 lineman. Follows up to mark Scottie Pippen. Every mark matters. A 2+ dodge may mean just a 1 fails, but if you make your opponent roll enough of them, they will fail them. 38 seconds left on the clock for the Real American Heroes. Shifting players to the right. They can't give up the left side of the pitch either. Dead Fred knows this. He has roadblock in position in the left wide zone. Baron has just shifted over to the right. Both Witch Elves back on the pitch here for overtime. Here comes the blitz on the rush. 2-die blitz on Scottie Pippen. Gets the POW. Can he break armor here? 9+ will do it. No armor break. Taking a mark. So he's giving up the left wide zone here. Has to be careful. We'll see if he's gone too aggressive here. Turn 20 for Elfitus Australis. 5 turns left in this ball game potentially. Starts off with a 2+ dodge to get the assist on Duke. 2-die block on Duke. That'll work out. That's a knockdown. Oh boy, a big armor break here. Duke's stunned. Good armor break for Elfitus Australis. $50 seconds on the clock. Eric looking to try to find a way to capitalize on this stun, but can be real risky to get shut down in the right wide zone unless he can get a turn of protection on the player. He's going to get a dodge push on Destro by the Journeyman. Pushing players back, just trying to expand the pocket a little bit, but roadblock on the left side. Blitz still on the table. 15 seconds to go in the turn. 1-die block, or blitz by Scottie Pippen. This will be a knockout on Zartan. Scottie Pippen with the tackle skill. Tackle negates dodge. No armor break. Back on the bonus clock for Elfitus Australis. Still on their own 12. No! Sir! You've got to be kidding me! Oh, man! I can't, I'm sorry, I'm in the replay and I can't, okay, Scottie Pippen, 3 dodges, a 5+, a 3+, a 2+, went for the handoff with Pocho, failed the rush, the ball bounced into the hands of Scottie Pippen anyway. Yeah, move, you got it exactly right. Oh, come on, Nuffle, sweet Nuffle. Can get a wrestle out of this. Yeah, gets a wrestle on Toko. Where are the witch elves? Here she is, the Baroness. Baroness almost certainly try to surf Scottie Pippen. Here it comes. 2-die surf, or 2-die blitz rather. Gets a push. Follow up, frenzy follow up here. Double skulls, I'll have to re-roll this. Oh no! Gets the surf. Wow, we'll see where this ball gets thrown back in on the pitch. Oh my heart. Oh boy, that ball is going to get thrown all the way down to the Real American Heroes 20-yard line. It is going to be a race to the ball. There goes Scarlet, the number 13 Witch Elf. The War Dancer no longer a threat. Tomax to race back toward the ball. A mark on the opposite side of Pitiful. Pitiful marked on both sides orthogonally, so it's a negative dodge to get out of that position. Good dodge to reposition Zartan between the offensive line and the ball. Turn 21 now for Elfitus Australis. Move09 says, not sure what else Eric had at that point, but that was crazy. Yes, indeed it was. I don't know what else he had either. Had to keep that player safe somehow. Went for the big dodge, and it worked out. That first dodge was a 5+. 3 dodges. They all worked out, but naturally it's the rush that failed. A mad dash to the ball. Elfitus Australis' only advantage here with the ball positioning is that it is near where they want to be. Another failed rush by Zangief on the blitz. Turn 21 for the Real American Heroes. They're going to be looking to get their offense started right here on this turn. They'll have 4 turns to try to score. Move09 says he needed to stay a little away from the sideline, though. Letting the surf happen was the issue with the play. Yeah, it's important to always be mindful when frenzy is in play against you. It's not just the sideline that's unsafe. It's not just here that's unsafe, but it's this column that's unsafe as well. And if you're not careful, a chain push can even make something like this column unsafe. So you really have to be mindful when you're against frenzy players, not to get frenzied off the pitch. A lot less of a worry when you have a sidestepping player, but the War Dancer unfortunately did not have sidestep. Knocked down Sophiel, the Journeyman. 47 seconds left for the Real American Heroes. Tomax back toward the ball. Ball pickup by Cobra Commander. Fails the 2+ pickup. What? All right. Turn 22 by Elfitus Australis. They can conceptually score. Three turns left. No rerolls for either team at this point. Real American Heroes with no resources whatsoever. No rerolls, no bonus clock time. They're currently marking the ball, but they only have 3 turns to score. So it's going to be a dash to get into the end zone with the positioning they have right now. They're by no means a slow team. Four-man player advantage for the Real American Heroes. They have a decent player advantage here. They're going to try to leverage it. There's Australis with the 3+ dodge to the 2+ dodge. And now they're marking the ball with Zangief. They're going to try to fight for this ball right where it is. Two dodges around the left side of the pitch. Garca, the number 11 lineman. Musi Shahat takes a mark on Tomax. Failed dodge. Failed dodge into a stun. That's a big hurt there. Fails the 2+ dodge, and now the Real American Heroes will turn 22. Can't really afford any stuns at this point. Real American Heroes find themselves in turn 22 with the ball marked by Zangief and Tomax marked by Garca. Blue Polish says Duke is biding his time. Sneak touchdown. I mean, having a player in position to score is always a sound strategy. Problem is you can't get it into his hands until he stands up. Chuckles marks Zangief. Here comes the blitz on Zangief. 2-die blitz. Both standing results. Blitz has been spent and nothing came out of it. Boy, what a scary, scary place this is for the Real American Heroes. Ooh, 09 says, what a game. Yes, indeed. I'm enthralled. There's the stand-up by Duke. Duke getting into this game takes a mark on Toko Chimichurri. Duke on the Real American Heroes own 4-yard line. Good dodge to take a mark on Garca. Blitz already been spent. There's that 2-die block on Garca. Gets a push out of it. Probably will not follow up here. And now Hawk. Oh, he does follow up. He follows up, keeps Garca marked, but now has a lane for Hawk to get in on this ball. Boy, 3+ pickup and roll a 2 this time. Oh, man. Turn 23 for Elfitus Australis. Failed the 2+ pickup, now fails the 3+ pickup. And now Cobra Commander in danger of getting blitz out of the way. I shouldn't say out of the way, but getting blitzed down. Oh, got the knockdown. Can he pick this ball up with Zangief? 2+ pickup. He's got it. Elfitus Australis wins the game. Wow! What a game that was. that's right. Thank you, Move09. I keep forgetting it's not over. Two more turns for the Real American Heroes. Wow, this is a very... What just happened? I guess... Oh, I see. The defense just was auto set up with their playbook, I suppose. Three-man player advantage for the Real American Heroes to set up their offense. They have no time on the bonus clock. They're just going to have 2 turns to do it. If they can get on the board, this will come down to kicks. I thought for sure Dead Fred would have brought Hawk in on that ball. There's a pause. Maybe the coaches, as I was unfamiliar, maybe the coaches are unfamiliar as well. And it looks like there's going to be some questions about what's going on here. I suspect Eric... Oh, the game froze. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not freeze the game. So it looks like Eric's well aware of how the game works, but his game client is frozen. So, hold on. Let me answer the question. Yeah, so it looks like his game client is frozen. Hopefully, he can get this fixed within the allotted time. The advice I gave was to just shut down the game client and relaunch it. Hopefully, that'll... I thought that doesn't have a reset button. What does that mean? Oh, I see. Yeah. I was about to... So, sorry, he can't see Discord, but Dead Fred gave the advice to Alt F4. That's... No. Oh boy. Looks like we're trying to work out some bugs here. Hopefully Eric can get this fixed in time. Oh, this is going to be heartbreaking. Oh, not like this. Not like this. Oh, no, it's not a problem with the game client. It's a problem with the laptop. I am... Oh, no. Under a minute left. It sounds like Eric's computer. It's not a problem with the game itself. It's a problem with the computer. And it looks like it might be unrecoverable here for Eric. If he can't get back in this game in 40 seconds, it's going to be a win for the Real American Heroes. Despite having the lead here, Elfitus Australis in the lead 2-1 after that touchdown. Oh, what a disappointing end. Oh, I'm heartbroken for Eric. Oh. 5 seconds left. The Real American Heroes are going to win this one by forfeit. And that is the end of the game. Unfortunately, after the touchdown, Eric's computer itself, not Blood Bowl 3, but the computer failed. It froze and was unrecoverable. Despite having the lead there in overtime, it's gonna lose due to a concession. But Eric played extremely well. Both coaches played very, very well. Should be very proud of how they performed. Eric, I'm sure is devastated for the loss, but should really feel good about how they played. And Dead Fred probably, I'm sure Dead Fred doesn't want to win this way, but Dead Fred should also be proud of how they played, and is a well-deserved win. Like both teams played their heart out. Both coaches played their heart out, and regardless of the reason of the outcome here tonight, either coach would have deserved this win, I think. So congratulations to the Real American Heroes. They're going to advance to the finals. They've earned their spot in the Blood Bowl. And there you have it. They will be advancing. We will have an Elf team in the finals against a Bashy team. Our second semifinal game is going to be against current league champion, the White Skull Windbreakers. Doug the Minotaur's Orc team. They're going to face off against Nick Satan Citizens Oak Park, Nick Satan Season 1 champion. Playing a Lizard team. It's Orcs versus Lizards. That will play tomorrow. We'll take a look at the schedule before we leave. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I feel so bad. I feel bad for both of them. I feel bad for Eric, obviously, and I feel bad for Dead Fred. He certainly wanted to try to score that touchdown, but again, both coaches played very well, and whoever won tonight deserves the win. They played phenomenally well. All right, our next semifinal game is going to be tomorrow night, Sunday, June 23rd at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC minus 5? I keep forgetting. I hope it's minus 5. It's going to be the White Skull Windbreakers versus Citizens Oak Park, as we mentioned previously. Doug the Minotaur versus Nick Satan's Orcs versus Lizards. And then after that, the finals of this competition is going to begin. And UCC minus 4, thank you very much, Moob09. So after tomorrow's semifinal game, the finals game will be, our two finalists will begin scheduling their game, and when that game gets scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules, on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club, here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our What is wrong with me today? On our BlueTube channel? On our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. After our finals, we'll probably just take a break for a day or two. But for all intents and purposes, after our finals, we will open up registration for our final open competition of the season. That'll be the Dungeon Bowl. You can play with us in the Dungeon Bowl, whether you have played this season before or not, whether you've played in the league or not, whether you have played Blood Bowl or not. Come join us. This is a fun game. You cannot have watched this game tonight and said, you know what, this game doesn't look any good. This game is great. You can play with us. You can hang out. You can learn the game if you need to learn the game. We have lots of coaches that are excellent sportsmen and will help you level up your game. And you can hang out in our Discord channel right there and come play with us if you wish. Once the finals are over, just say, hey, or even right now, you can say, hey, Ava, I want to sign up for the Dungeon Bowl. What do I do? I'll let you know how. But yeah, you can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. We are also going to support crossplay for the Dungeon Bowl, so if you have the game or have been thinking about picking up the game for your Xbox or your PlayStation, you can play with us in the league. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for our next semifinals. I imagine it's going to be just as good as tonight was. It is a semifinal after all. But until tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening.